Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Just gonna make sure we are live, and it looks like we are. Yes. Okay. We are going to have an amazing time. Just pull this up. Okay. All right. Well, hi, everybody. If we have not met before, I'm Dr. Una. I'm going to introduce myself in a minute. But if you are on live, I want you to type live and say hi in the chat. If you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay. I will come back to the replay, see what everybody said. Just pulling this up so I can see the comments. There we are. There we are. Okay. So today we are going to have an amazing time, really amazing time. I would love for this to be a two-way conversation. So you can say hi in the chat. If there's something that really resonates with you, you can, put your emojis in the comments and all of that. It's going to be a great time. If you're watching the replays, say hashtag replay. I will come and look, after we're done. But today I want to talk about the number one moneymaker that most entrepreneurs ignore. So the number one moneymaker. And this is something that is simple. This is something that is inexpensive. It'll save you tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars actually. It's something that you can start doing today, or you can even do much better than you're already doing from today. Okay, so if you haven't met before, Dr. Una, I started off as a socially awkward, super shy, introverted introvert who did not think that entrepreneurship was in the realm of possibility for me. And so I bought into that lie, which is a lie that is very prevalent in the physician community. We're told that, we treat ourselves like one-trick ponies and the whole nine yards. But I have gone on from that person to be a person who has built multiple very successful businesses that serve a lot and earn a lot. And this phase of my career, what I really love to do is to help physicians learn how to build profitable businesses so they can live life, they can practice medicine on their terms. And I do that through the EntreMD podcast. I do that through the EntreMD Method book. That's like my fifth child. Um, and soon, next month, 25 days from today, we're going to have EntreMD Live, which is our annual event. If you haven't saved the spot yet, you do want to save it. It is for physicians who want to build 6 and 7 figure businesses. Last year, we had over 500 doctors registered for it. It is free for you to attend, but it is such a game-changing event. And I may talk about it a bit on a different day, but it is an amazing event. So entremd.com/live, save your spot, okay? It's free to you, and I'm committed to your success. I want to see you succeed. So let's talk about this moneymaker, okay? And that moneymaker is consistent, strategic content creation. Okay? Consistent, strategic content creation. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about content creation on your own platform. So I'm not talking about social media. I'm not saying don't do social media. I do social media. So it's not social media. It is on something that is kind of like your own real estate in a way. And so I'm referring to something like I'm referring to three things, like a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog, but you're showing up there regularly and you are producing strategic content. Okay, so I'm going to get into what that is. This is going to be so simple that you're going to be like, really, Dr. Una? But yes, really. Okay, so consistent strategic content creation. And what is the reason for this? When we say the number one money maker, right, that most entrepreneurs ignore, I want you to think about how money is created. Okay, we don't steal from people as entrepreneurs. We don't manipulate people as entrepreneurs. What we do is we serve, we solve problems, and we get a thank you note called money. Okay, so we solve problems for people and we get a thank you note called money. Most physician entrepreneurs have no problem serving people, right? Why did we go into medicine in the first place? We want to help people. When do we go into medicine? We want to help people fix their problems, right? In our case, health problems. So it's something we like to do. It's something we're good at. It's something we've done for so long. Now, so the serving piece is there, but now you have to serve people. So you have to find the people, right? So as an entrepreneur, yes, you serve, but a huge part of what you do is you find the people to serve, okay? And when people come in contact with you, the bottom line is people are going to buy from people they know, like, and trust, okay? Know, like, and trust. And it takes time to build that. And one of the fastest ways to do that, one of the most sustainable ways to do that, one of the ways to do it in such a way that it's such long-term value is through a platform. So YouTube, blog, podcasts, through a platform like that. Because what happens there is that the know, like, and trust factor can grow because you have an opportunity to let people experience you. Okay? All right, so let's look at it this way. I remember back in the day, okay, I probably had one child. I have 4 children now. I had one kid, and I had Saturdays off, and, we would go. I look on those days, I'm like, wow, you know, we would go to stores like Costco. So we go to Costco to do, like bulk buying and stuff like that. And in the aisles, you have these people who have different things that they let people sample. Okay. So you walk up to it, you sample it, you're like, okay, I like that. Then you go look for it to buy it. Okay. What did they try to fast track by doing that? They tried to fast track the know, like, and trust factor because you've seen the packaging, you've tasted it, you liked it, so then you go buy it. Okay. Now think about in your business, you may have a website. On the back end, you know what you can do for your clients or for your patients. But how do they get to experience some of you so they can say, I like the taste of that. Let me go buy that, right? And so that is one of the biggest reasons why you want to have a platform where you're producing content. My recommendation is at least weekly. Now, some people do, every other week and stuff like that, but at least weekly. What are you doing? You're giving people the opportunity to taste your product, taste your service regularly, right? And because they're getting value from that, it's easy for them to then walk down the aisle, which is AKA schedule a call with you or go to your website and purchase your stuff or sign up to come to your private practice or whatever that is. You're giving them the opportunity to taste your service so they can walk down to the aisle and go buy it. Okay? So when you don't do that, they can look at the packaging, which is like maybe your website, or they saw you speak somewhere, something like that, and they're like, that's nice, but they're not sure, so they walk away. Your strategic content helps them to be sure. Okay, that's what that does. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, so that's what that does. It gives them the opportunity to say, wow, I really like that. Okay. And on the other hand, remember, we live in a binge economy. Okay. So now people don't even really want to watch shows anymore when the shows are live because they just want it on Netflix so they can watch all of them and just, binge on it. And I cannot tell you how many times I've binged on other people's content or people have reached out to me and said they binged on we just live in that economy. So the thing is, if you're not producing that, are you bingeable? Right? That's something you might want to type in the comments here. Am I bingeable? Because if you are producing consistent strategic content, then you are bingeable. And if that person is your ideal client or ideal patient, the more of your content they consume, the more they are convinced, not manipulated, right? They're convinced that this person has the solution I've been looking for, and they can say yes. Okay, so it's a simple thing. It's something that you can do every week. It's not a whole lot, but the return on investment of it is huge. Okay, and the thing is, the more you build it, the more of a snowball effect that it creates, and you'll never know the impact you have. Some of the people you would help through your platform, you may never actually work with them. So let me even show you the benefit. One benefit is, wow, they say yes and they're like, this is amazing. But some other people are like, that's amazing, but not quite my thing. You know what I mean? That's not what I want. But they may be raving fans. They may be people who will tell other people about you. They may become really good referral sources, even though they never bought anything from you. Okay? So consistent strategic content creation. That is the number one money maker that most entrepreneurs ignore. Now, ignoring may be they don't have a platform, or they have a platform and they use it inconsistently, or they have a platform that is consistent, but the content is not strategic. Now, I can't go into the breakdown of all the things that make the content strategic, but I will give you the biggest one, and that is this. Your content it's not about you at all. It's not about what you like to talk about. It's not about, it's not about you. It is about your ideal client, the problem they're having, and the way you can help them, right? And so, for instance, for me, I run a podcast called the EntreMD Podcast. Now, the EntreMD Podcast, I talk to physician entrepreneurs. So they either want to start or they want to grow their businesses, right? I talk to them and I talk to them about entrepreneurship, okay? So I lean into what are the questions that they have. I answer them. Those answers are podcast episodes. What are the limiting beliefs that will typically get in their way? I go and I explain those and how to overcome them. Those are podcast episodes. I'm like, who is an example of what is possible to them? I interview that person. That's a podcast episode. It is all about my client. It is all about my audience. It is all about me helping the people who listen to my podcast. It has nothing to do with me. Now, it has something to do with me in the sense that there's an intersection, right, between the problem they have and the way I can help them, but I'm not the driver. The person listening is the driver, right? So I go there to serve. I go there to solve their problems. I go there to answer their questions. I go there to show them examples of what is possible. That is what I do on there. So I'll give you an example with my podcast, okay? We've done this for 2.5 years. I did not know it will have the impact that it's had. We've done it for 2.5 years. I think we released episode 221 today, and we've had almost, I can't wait to when I can post this, almost 250,000 downloads in 125 countries. Like, insane. But guess what? Every time I release an episode, what ends up happening is people are like, yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for, right? During the pandemic, there are so many, the height of the pandemic, I cannot tell you how many people sent me PMs, DMs, and all of that. And they're like, listen, I made it through the pandemic because of your podcast. My private practice survived the pandemic because of your podcast. And I'm talking big wins, like, we crossed our multiple 6-figure, 7-figure mark. Small wins, not small. We don't really call any wins small wins, but maybe starter wins. Like I finally started that podcast, I started that blog, and all of that. And so the thought process is you are creating content that is giving people wins. So they're like, if the free stuff could do that, what would happen if I actually worked with this person? Okay, that is the question you want to start creating. You want people to see, I've been looking for a solution, I'm ready for the solution, and this looks exactly like the solution. That is 100% what you want to be doing, okay? So moneymaker, number one moneymaker, most entrepreneurs are ignoring, consistent, strategic content creation, okay? So this is what we're going to do. I want you to post in the chat what you are going to do. There are 3 platforms: YouTube, podcast, blog, okay? Any of the 3. Some of you don't have a platform. and you can own one. You've been thinking about it. I have tons of podcast episodes on how to start these things and all of that. So if you have questions, post them in the comments. We will answer them. We will help you, give you the resources that you need, okay? But if you have not started one, I want you to own it. I want you to say in the next 30 days, I'm going to launch my YouTube channel, or I'm going to launch my blog, or I'm going to launch my podcast. Okay, next 30 days, this is what I'm going to do, or whatever, that timeline is for you. If you already have one and you are not consistent or you are not strategic, I want you to type in the comments, I am going to up level the way I show up on my, whatever that is, YouTube, podcast, or blog. I'm going to up level the way I show up on my platform. Okay, so those are the decisions you can make. I'm either going to launch or I'm going to up level the way I show up. Why? You literally have hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in your content. Okay, tied up in your content. And if you have questions around them, again, post them. If you're like, I don't know how to come up with content, post them. We have resources on all of those things. Okay, so I want you to think about it, okay? So those of you starting, it may be 30 days from now. Those of you up leveling, it'll be the next time you record or you sit to write your blog. But listen, if you do that in the next 30 to 60 days, you could be that person who starts getting PMs and DMs where people are like, oh my goodness, you're in my head. Oh my goodness, you're exactly the person that I want to work with. You're like, people start signing up, people start showing up in your clinics. I cannot tell you, I had a doc. And she's like, I was listening to your podcast. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And she's like, I never buy anything. I never sign up for any programs. I never do any of that. And I saw that the EntreMD Business School was open, and I just signed up. And so she just paid, at the time, she paid $10,000 for it. Meanwhile, she don't buy stuff. Why? There's something she wanted to do. She's listening to the podcast and she knows this is where I need to be to get this done, and she just signs up. This works whether you have a private practice, whether you're a coach, whether you have a product, like this works, okay? So I want you to own it. I want you to think about where you could be in 30, 60 days because I'm excited on your behalf. And when you come for EntreMD Live, okay, June 11th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is virtual, so you can do this in your PJs, but we are going to talk about all the things that will supercharge your content creation strategy. We're going to be talking about the mindset. We're talking about the whole profitable business framework, so how this fits in, because this is one pillar and all of that. We're going to be looking at that. You'll get to see examples of people who have done what you're planning to do and the massive results they've created in their businesses. It's going to be a blast, okay? So make sure you save your spot. Make sure you grab a fellow doc to join you. Sharing is caring. Okay, entremd.com/live. Cannot wait to see you. And let me know how this helped you, how you're going to use it in your business, because I want to see you kill it. Okay? All right, so that's what we have for today. I will see you on our very next episode tomorrow.